We are called to live in community, in the body of believers known as the church. Each congregation is a small section of that body, but it is in here that we find brothers, sisters, mothers, and fathers. And it is here that we find true love and support. Now, I know that there are those of you in this room who have been burned by a church before because of something that someone said, or maybe even the church whole said or did. We're humans. We do foolish and silly things. This family is made of people, flawed people. We say and do foolish things. And I know that some of you have true horror stories about what has happened either in this church or another church. And I cannot change the past, but I can make two promises. Promise one, you will be hurt again. Not a very nice promise, but it's true. You will be hurt again. Because, well, we're still humans. Nothing changed since 2 sentences ago. We are still flawed humans, as am I. If I haven't offended you or said something foolish to you, don't worry, I'll get around to it. I'm a flawed human who says and does foolish things too. But my second promise is that despite our flaws, despite our foolishness, despite the plainly dumb things we say sometimes, there is still nowhere in the world you will find more people who love you dearly. There is nowhere in the world that you will find people who are willing to die for you, even if they don't know your name, than in the church. We are flawed and we are foolish, dysfunctional at times, but we are a family. We say and do silly things. We say and do foolish things. We look back on some of the things we say and do and go, really, I was that foolish. But we are still a group of people who love you for who you are because a God died for us when we were not worthy. There is nowhere else in the world where you will find a family who can support you the way we can. My first promise is that we will hurt you again because we're foolish. But my second promise is that we will love you despite our foolishness, because we are a body of Christ. And sometimes that's quite literal. Sometimes that is quite literal. Jesus said that he would be with us to the very end of the age, and he has kept that promise. He will continue to keep that promise. But sometimes he uses my arms to hug you. Sometimes he uses my words to comfort you, and sometimes he uses my checkbook to pay for your bills. He uses me to care for you because I am a part of his body, and you are his son, daughter, and you are my brother, and you are my sister. That is part of how the church is supposed to work. Now, there's so much more to the church, and we're not going to get into that this morning. But at the very basic, the most basic definition of church is the assembly of God's family. Happy reunion. Your pain is my pain. Your struggle is my struggle. Your joy is my joy. God gave us a family to help us through this life. And we are not perfect, but the head of our family is. We are not perfect, but we've been adopted into his family, and we have taken his name. We have a new, to use the expression, last name. We are not perfect, but we have taken his name. He is teaching us to be like him in his family. We are imperfect, but we are still his children. And if you are not a part of the family of God yet, if you have not given your life to Jesus Christ, please come. If you want to be a specific part of this small section of that larger family, please come. I want to call you brother and sister. If you are hesitant because of past experience in the church, I am so sorry, but I can promise you that the Lord who we serve is perfect, even if we are not. And this family will love you. We are all family, warts and all. Sometimes we do foolish things, but it is here that we find the support and love that Christ gave us to get through this life. Black socks and underwear at Christmas. Our church family is not what we wanted, but it is exactly what we needed.
Amen.
Merry Christmas and welcome home.
Merry Christmas. Thank you, brother. One thing that ties us all together is that we're all at the feet of Jesus.